you, do you have question paper?
Sir, for that we have to open the website.
Okay, let me, I'm checking whether I can access that question paper or not. In the meantime, all of you are required to join the class. Okay, children, I cannot access the question paper.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, on the screen.
yes, what happened?
Sir, I am presenting the screen.
Okay, okay, very good. Okay, very good. Let me check. It is not being shown. Okay, very good. This is the question. Okay, well done. Vikas Sharma, very good. Vikas Sharma is doing a nice job. Name the technique to separate camphor from salt. Is this question difficult? All of you, please tell me.
No, sir.
Is this question difficult for you?
No, sir.
Listen, let me give you one brief idea about this technique. This technique, see, there are solid substances when heated, when they are heated, they first get converted into liquid, and then on further heating they get converted into gas. Okay, this is the normal procedure. Okay, when solids are heated, they are first converted into liquid, and then they are converted into gases. Okay, but there are some substances which are solids, which when heated they get directly converted into gaseous form. These substances are called sublimable substances, and the process is known as centrifugation. Okay, so out of these two salts that are given, camphor and common salt is not a sublimable substance. On the other hand, camphor is a sublimable substance. When there is a mixture of camphor and salt taken, then when it is heated, camphor vaporizes. It vaporizes to form vapors, and this is how we can separate the mixture of camphor from salt by the process of sublimation. All of you agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Vikas, can you move to next question? Okay, very good. The substance which does not form a true solution in water. See, alum is a salt. It is soluble in water, so it forms true solution. Common salt, it is soluble in water, so it will form true solution. Sugar, it is also soluble, so it will form true solution. But egg albumin forms what? Can anybody tell me? Egg albumin, when it dissolve, when it is mixed with water, what type of solution is obtained? Yes, Sugar?
Colloidal.
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 Very good. Colloidal solution. So egg albumin forms colloidal solution. Okay. So the answer to this question is egg albumin will not form true solution in water. You can see, children, you can write down the answers with explanation also. Okay. Next question. Next question. Which one is the physical change? Is Aditya here? Is Aditya? Aditya, are you here or not? Aditya is not here. Okay. So let us check. Which one is the physical change? Let us check, children. See, physical changes are those changes which result in change in the physical properties, which result in the change in the physical properties. Distribution of MCQ test. Okay, children. So the physical properties like state, color, odor, all these are physical changes. But if there is chemical change, that means there will be some new substance formed and which is normally irreversible in nature, Now see, mixing of BaSO4 plus NaCl. It is a chemical change. Children. Okay, let us check what happens. Please pay attention to question number. This is question number 3. See, BaSO4 plus NaCl. What type of change is this? Can you tell me what type of change is this, children? What type of change is this? No one.
Chemical change.
It is chemical change. It is a chemical change, and what type of reaction is this? We have discussed about the types of chemical reactions also in the practicals that I have demonstrated. What type of change is this? This is double displacement reaction. Because BaSO4 it binds with NaCl and Na binds with SO4. Okay, so since both the cations and anions are exchanged, so this reaction is double displacement. Please write down. This reaction is double displacement reaction. There I have told you also that time also, but you did not listen. Double displacement reaction. Okay. Next question number. Mixing NH3 plus HCl. NH3 plus HCl aqueous. So it will give NH4Cl. What it will give, children? NH4Cl. This is aqueous solution. NH4Cl. Okay. This is again a chemical change. All of you are getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is also a chemical change, and this is a combination reaction. Now, what type of reaction is this? Combination, because two substances are getting combined to form a single product. So combination, and it is a chemical change. Okay, children. Chemical change. Okay, the third one, I had shown you this burning of magnesium in air. Mg plus O2, it will form MgO. What will form? Magnesium oxide. So it is again chemical change, and it is a combination reaction. And adding NaCl to water, NaCl gets dissolved in water. There is nothing new substance formed. It is a physical change. Okay. Any problem?
No, sir.
Okay. The components of a mixture of iron filings and sulfur powder are separated by. Can you tell me that which among iron filings and sulfur have magnetic property? Can you tell me?
Iron filings.
Iron filings. So when in the previous class, when I had demonstrated you about the mixtures and compounds, that time I have showed you or not? When we took mixture of iron filings and sulfur powder, we brought a magnet near the mixture, and it so happened that the iron filings got attracted by the magnet, but sulfur powder remained in the watch glass. I have shown you or not?
Yes, sir, you have showed.
Yeah. So that means you might be knowing the answer that we can separate the mixture of iron filings and sulfur powder with the help of a magnet. Okay. Next question. What is the order of methods applied to separate the components of a mixture of salt, sand and ammonium chloride? Please pay attention. Listen everyone. This is very good question actually. And how many of you have attempted this question correct? Can you tell me? कितने लोगों का correct answer क्या ये?
Sir, me.
Vikas only.
Sir, me also.
Anamika. And okay, listen. Let us talk about this question. This is very, very important question. I am rubbing this, and let us talk about question number 5. Question number 5. Question number 5. This is very, very important. See, suppose we have a mixture of sand. This is sand, NaCl, and what? Ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. NH4Cl. So, see, we have to think, first of all, listen, if there were no ammonium ion, support, children, if we had a mixture of common salt and sand, what would be our procedure? Can anybody tell me? Yes, Anshuman Tiwari. How will you separate a mixture of salt and sand? Anshuman? Okay, he is not there. Anamika, will you answer? Anamika Raghav?
Yes, sir.
You have listened to my question or not?
Sir, please repeat.
Yeah. How will you separate a mixture of common salt and sand? This we have studied in class 6 itself. Anamika, are you trying to answer or we can give a chance to somebody else?
Sir, by filtration?
No. Okay, Anusha, can you tell? Anusha?
Sir, by dissolving in water and then filtering it.
Then can
Then
we separate?
evaporating it.
No, Anusha, suppose we have a mixture of common salt and sand. You are telling that we will first dissolve in water, then we will filter. So, water, in water,
We have to add a little amount of water.
then you are not getting my point. Listen, I will tell you. Suppose we have a mixture of common salt and sand. What we will do, we will add water into it. So sand, since it is not soluble in water, so it will sediment at the bottom. But common salt, because it is soluble in water, so it will come into the solution. It will come into the solution. So when we transfer the water containing NaCl to another container, this process is called decantation, and thus salt is this sand is separated out, but we still have common salt in water. So that will be separated by process of evaporation. Okay? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Yes, sir.
so the processes involved in order to separate sand from common salt is first dissolving the components in water, then decantation, then it is evaporation. Okay?
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
But here in this question we have a mixture of three substances: salt, sand, and ammonium chloride. So see what property does ammonium chloride has, which common salt and sand does not have. Please tell me.
Sir, it is a sublimable substance.
So first of all, what we will do, we will heat the mixture. We will heat the mixture dry. When the mixture is dry, then only we will heat the mixture. So what will happen? Ammonium chloride, since it is a sublimable substance, so it will form its vapors, and those vapors will be collected in a separate container, and when they are condensed, it will form ammonium chloride. Okay. Now we simply have common salt and sand. So the process will be same as I have discussed earlier. Okay. Understood or not?
Understood,
Sir.
sir.
So first of all, this is the additional process: sublimation, and then dissolving in water, then filtration or decantation, and then evaporation. So first option is the correct option. Okay. Because let us move on to next question. An element Y is not lustrous, sonorous, or malleable. Identify why. So these properties like lustrous, sonorous, malleability, ductility, good electrical conductivity are the properties of metals. Are the properties of what?
Metals.
So we have to identify an element which is not a metal, Gold is a metal, aluminum is a metal, copper is a metal, but chromium is not a metal. So it is having all these properties, which is it is not lustrous, it is not sonorous, it is not malleable. Okay. Can you tell me one important thing about bromine? Can you think one important thing about bromine?
Sir, it remains in liquid form in room temperature.
Yeah, bromine is the non-metal which is in liquid state, Okay. Which sublimate substance is used to protect warm clothes? Naphthalene, all of us know or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
next question. Identify a method used to separate a mixture of water and groundnut oil. This was the easiest question, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Listen, don't go to next question, Vikas. Since water and groundnut oil, they have different densities. Do they have different densities or not? They have different densities, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when they are mixed with one another, they will form separate layers. And depending upon their densities, they will form two layers. The component which is having less density will be at the top, and the component which is having more density will be at the bottom. Okay? And thus they form. Don't move. Next question. They will form separate layers, and they can be easily separated by filtration. Not filtration, separating funnel. Now, what I'm asking this question: which out of water and groundnut oil has more density? Which out of water and groundnut oil have more density?
Water.
Water has more density, so water will be at the bottom and groundnut oil will be at the top. Okay, children. Next question. Find the incorrect statement. The purity of compounds can be tested by determining their melting points. The mixture can be called as a single substance. Cesium and gallium are liquids about 30 degrees Celsius. No energy changes occur when the constituent of air is tried to be mixed. First of all, first statement, we will go one by one. The purity of compounds can be tested by determining their melting points. Compounds have definite melting boiling points. If there is some mixture added to them, then their melting and boiling points will get changed. Okay, children? So this statement is correct or wrong?
Correct, sir.
Correct. Okay. Second one, the mixture can be called as a single substance. No. Single substance, no. Mixture means it is a combination of two or more pure substances combined in any proportion, and it is a physical change. They are not combined chemically. Okay. So is this statement correct?
No, sir.
This is
Yes.
a false statement. Let us move on to next option. Cesium and gallium are liquids about 30 degrees Celsius. Yes, they are liquids. They have very low melting points. No energy changes occur when the constituent of air is tried to be mixed. No, energy changes occur when we try to mix. See, hydrogen and oxygen, when they react with each other, there is a change in energy. We have to when we heat oxygen and hydrogen to form water, there is a change of energy also. Okay, in order to form a compound called water. So, which statement out of these is correct?
Sir, incorrect. The second statement.
I'm asking which statement out of this is correct?
Second.
Yeah.
Sir, first, third, and fourth is correct, and second is incorrect.
Yes, very good, Anusha. This like you have to answer. Next, Vikas, can we move on to next question? Okay. Which of the following are chemical changes? What do you think? Melting of ice is what?
Physical change.
Physical change.
1 minute. Shreyas Pakhare, why melting of ice is a physical change? Shreyas Pakhare, please tell me. Shreyas? Shreyas Pakhare is not speaking. Dishita, can you tell? Dishita,
Yes, sir.
please tell, melting of ice, what do you think? Is it a physical or chemical thing?
Sir, it is a physical change because
Why?
it can be converted again to a liquid or gas state.
No, what change is taking place when ice is being melted? Please tell me.
Sir, ice is at 273 K. So for melting the ice, it requires a latent heat. So it is a physical change because we can get the ice to water by melting it.
Okay, Shreyas. Now, Dishita, you please resume your answer. What do you want to say? Dishita?
Sir, in ice, the kinetic energy is less, and in a gas state, the kinetic energy is high, so it can be differentiated by
See,
this.
Dishita, what was my question? Why melting of ice is considered to be a physical change? Please tell me. You answered this question.
So,
Sir, I am available.
No, Shreyas, please wait. Shreyas, please wait. Dishita, you continue.
sir, it can again, sir, when we convert it into liquid, it can again be converted to a solid form.
Yes, very good. So, children, listen. In total, we can say that melting of ice is a physical change because in this process, only the state is being changed, and change of state is a physical change. Okay, change of state is a physical change. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Second, the cooking of vegetables. The cooking of vegetables is a physical or chemical change?
Chemical.
Chemical change.
Okay, let us talk about it later on. Freezing of water. Freezing of water again.
Physical.
Physical change.
Physical change.
Physical change because listen, melting of ice was conversion of solid into liquid, and this freezing of water is reverse of the first one. Is it so?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is again a state change. So this is again a physical change. Then fourth one, drying of wet clothes in sunlight. Drying of wet clothes in sunlight. It is again a physical change. Cooking of vegetables is a chemical change because when we cook vegetable, there is a chemical changes taking place in that, and which cannot be recovered once again. Can we recover the same raw vegetables once they are cooked?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, because now can we move on to next question? The particles of the colloidal solution are very good. The particles are. I want to ask one question without solving this question. First of all, who's going to answer? Prateek Kumar Sahu, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Prateek Kumar Sahu, can you tell me the range of size of the particles of the three types of solutions, that is true solution, colloidal solution and suspension? Please tell me the range.
Sir, for a true solution, the range is 10 to the power minus 9 nanometer.
Yes. 9 nanometer? No. Okay, Vikas, you tell. Vikas Sharma, I am waiting for you. Okay, Anusha, can you tell me? Anusha,
Yes, sir.
please tell the range of the size of particles.
Sir, true solution, the size of particle of true solution is less than 1 nanometer. The
Very
size
good.
of particle of colloidal solution is between 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer, and the size of particle of suspension is greater than 100 nanometer.
Okay, very good. So, which solution particles are easily to see?
Suspension.
Very good. Well done. Very good. But the particles of colloidal solution are not easily visible. They require a powerful microscope to see. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Okay, next question. Bear the following with the correct response. You might have answered this correct, isn't it? How many of you have
Yes,
answered
sir.
the correct question? Okay, let us check. Fine mud particles suspended in air. Fine mud particles. This will be loading and sedimentation. Do you agree with that? Children, I am answering the question. Please listen. fine mud particles suspended in water, they can be separated by loading and sedimentation. Is it correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Purification of water. Purification of water. Chlorination. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then pieces of small pieces of metal in the engine of a car. They can be separated by
Sanctification.
centrifugation. Okay. Tea leaves from tea extract. Filtration.
Filtration.
So this you might have correct this. If we are able to solve this, then you can select the option also. Can you?
Yes, sir.
Next question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Which of the following statements are true for a pure substance? True है कौन सा? Pure substances contain only one kind of particles. What do you think? It is correct or wrong? Correct.
True, sir.
True. Very good. Pure substances may be compounds or mixtures. This is wrong. Is this wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Wrong.
sir. It is incorrect.
This is incorrect. Very good. Pure substances have the same composition throughout. This is correct. Okay. Say yes or no. This is correct or wrong?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Next, fourth one. Pure substances can be exemplified by your all elements other than nickel. This is again false. This is false, no?
Yes, sir. False.
They are asking true, no? True. So first and
Third.
Very good. First and third are correct.
What
This
does
is,
the last sentence means?
very good. This pure substances can be exemplified by all elements other than nickel. इसका मतलब ये कह रहा है अनुषा कि निकल के अलावा सभी एलिमेंट्स प्योर हैं, बल्कि निकल इम्प्योर है. निकल भी तो प्योर एलिमेंट ही है.
Yes, sir.
So this is again a wrong statement. Now have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next question. The basic building unit of an onion bulb are called cells.
Cells.
Cells. Okay, very good. Next question. Next question. The membrane of the Golgi aperture has connections with those of endoplasmic reticum. This you all know. Do you know or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Next
sir.
question. Next question. Most of the substances in the living world are transported across the cell membrane by the process of osmosis. Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You don't know?
Sir, no.
Okay. Now, Anamika. Anamika, is she here? Anamika?
Yes, sir.
Anamika, can you tell me what is osmosis? Anamika, can you tell me what is osmosis, beta?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me, please define what is osmosis. Anamika Raghav, please define what is osmosis. Okay, who can define what is osmosis? Who can define? Pankudi Tillani, can you define? Pankudi Tillani.
Sir, the movement of water from higher concentration to a lower concentration is called osmosis.
Anamika Raghav, I am not able to hear you. Please listen. Please speak loudly and yes.
The movement of water is higher concentration to lower concentration is called osmosis.
Nahi, you have missed one point, Anamika. Please listen. The movement of solvent molecules from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration across a semi-permeable membrane or cell membrane is called osmosis. Anamika,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना बेटा? आपने क्या रह गया था आपसे? What have you missed?
The semi-permeable membrane.
It is required, no? It is required or not?
Yes, sir.
So please don't forget to mention that the movement of solvent particles across the semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. The movement of solvent particles from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration across the semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. Okay, children? Okay or not?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next question. Now this question, an eukaryotic nucleus has a non-porous single membrane. Listen, nucleus of eukaryotic cells, they have a well-defined nucleus having double membrane
Membrane.
nuclear membrane, and that membrane is porous. That membrane is what?
Porous.
Porous.
Porous. Can you tell me what is the term given to the nucleus of a prokaryotic cell? What is the term given to a nucleus of a prokaryotic cell?
Nuclei.
No. Anusha, can you tell me?
Nucleoid.
Nucleoid. Very good. All of you please note down. Nucleus of a prokaryotic cell is known as nucleoid. Nucleus of a prokaryotic cell. Nucleus of a prokaryotic cell is known as prokaryotic cell is known as nucleoid. It is known as nucleoid. Okay. Next question. Okay, next question. Large size vacuoles are the characteristic feature of
Plant
large
cells.
plant cells, no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please listen carefully. Large size vacuoles and their number is less. Their number is less, but the size is more in case of plant cells. On the other hand, in animals, they are many number, but their size is less. Okay. Do you all agree with this or not?
Yes, sir.
So,
Next one. Swelling of cells. Swelling of cells takes place in hypotonic solution, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Swelling of cells takes place in hypotonic solution by the process of endoosmosis. Endoosmosis means that when the movement of water molecules is into the cell. Okay, children?
Yes, sir.
You can write down endosmosis. Please pay attention. Endosmosis. Endosmosis, write down. Endosmosis means movement of water molecules. Movement of water molecules into the cell. Okay. This will take place in a hypotonic solution or hypertonic solution. Water moves into the cell when it is placed in a hypotonic solution, isotonic solution, or hypertonic solution. I want the answer.
Hypotonic.
Hypotonic solution.
And those movement of water molecules into the cell when it is placed in hypotonic solution. Okay. Hypotonic solution. राजस्थान बस 10 मिनट का समय है 10 मिनट okay place in hypotonic solution. Okay, hypotonic solution. Understood or not?
Yes, sir.
And there will be, please pay attention, and exosmosis. Please write down exosmosis. The movement of water molecules from the cell to the outside. Okay, children? From the cell to the outside. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
From the cell to the outside. From the cell to outside. When it is placed, in which solution it will take place, children? In which solution it will take place?
Hypertonic.
solution.
Please note down. When placed in hypertonic solution. Okay. And children, there will be no net movement of water molecules across the plasma membrane when the cell is placed in a isotonic solution. Isotonic solution is such a solution which has same concentration of water inside the cell and outside the cell. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let us come back to our question. Large size vacuoles are the characteristic features of plant cells. Okay. Swelling of cells takes place by endosmosis. Shrinkage of cell content takes place in the hypertonic solution, and organelle that controls all the activities is nucleus. So let us match. First is D. Do you agree? No, I don't want the answer. First is D or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Second is A. Second is A. Then third is C. Okay, and fourth is B. Okay, according to that you can select the option. Okay, children.
Yes, sir.
Oh, next question, Vikas. Let us move on to next question. Which of these options are not a function of ribosomes? See, let me tell you what are ribosomes. Ribosomes are also called protein factories of a cell. Protein factories of a cell. They are found on the surface of endoplasmic reticulum called rough endoplasmic reticulum. It is due to the presence of ribosomes that makes the endoplasmic rough. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum rough. That is why it is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now let us take a look at the options that are given. It helps in the manufacture of protein molecules. Is it true?
Yes, sir. True.
Yes, sir.
It helps in manufacture of enzymes. Enzymes are proteins, so it is also true, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It helps in manufacture of hormones. Is it true?
False.
False.
No, sir.
Eh?
No, sir.
It is false.
Yes, sir. False.
Okay. It helps in the manufacture of starch molecules.
False.
It is also false. So it helps in the manufacturing of protein molecules, and all enzymes are proteins. That please write down. All enzymes are protein molecules. That is why second option is also a correct option. Okay. Look at all. Do you know this or not? All enzymes are proteins.
Yes, sir.
Write down. All enzymes are proteins. All enzymes are proteins. All enzymes are proteins. Okay. Next question. Can we move on to next question? The cell organelles with digestive enzymes are. It is lysosomes. Lysosomes are also called suicidal bags. Why they are called suicidal bags? Because lysosomes are rich in hydrolytic enzymes, which are also called digestive enzymes, and due to some disturbance in the cell, when lysosomes come out of the cell, they digest their own cell, and thus there is the death of the cell. This is why it is called suicidal bags. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you move on to next question? Those organs of the body like oral cavity, esophagus, etc., which are subjected to mechanical abrasions are lined by, that we have to learn, stratified cuboidal epithelium. Stratified cuboidal epithelium, not stratified squamous epithelium, which is the correct answer. Stratified squamous epithelium. Please learn the locations of different types of epithelium tissues. Okay. Next question. Can we move on to next question? Dash connects two bones at a joint. Tendon or ligament. Ligament joins bone to a bone, and tendon joins muscle to a bone. So we have discussed earlier also. Tendon is MTB. Have you learned like this or not? Have you learned like this?
Yes, sir.
And ligament is BTB. Ligament is what? BTB. Ligament is BTB. Okay, children? Next question. Which among the following helps to increase the diameter or the girth of the organs like stem? It is both lateral and secondary meristem. Okay. Next question. This is the last question, children. Let us see.
Sir, secondary meristem. cambium is a secondary meristem.
Secondary means lateral meristem. It is also called lateral meristem. Okay. Anusha. The conducting cells of xylem are tracheids and vessels. Okay, these were the questions of chemistry and biology that we have discussed. So I hope you might have find this question paper easy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now listen, I have created an assignment in the Google Classroom that the activities or the practicals that I have demonstrated in the class, you have to write them in your practical files with proper diagrams, figures, etc. and then upload in single PDF file all the 3 practicals that we have done. First is that preparation of true solution, suspension and colloidal. Second, preparation of compound and mixture, and the third one that we have done, the most recent, what was that?
Sir, I have a doubt.
What?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Chemical reactions and physical changes. Chemical changes and physical. Yes, Anamika, what is your problem?
Sir, in mixture and compound, you have all the experiment that mixture and the compound using iron fillings and sulfur powder. So we have to do all these.
Yeah, all in this. See, there are 3 practicals that we have demonstrated. So you have to write all the practicals, all the 3 practicals. Yes, Anamika, is it clear now?
Yes, sir, clear.
Oh, now I hope you will complete these practicals and you will upload in the Google Classroom as soon as possible. You have now your MCQ tests are over, so you will be free. Then
No,
you
sir,
can,
one test is left.
one test is left, which is
Yes,
that?
sir. Sir,
Hindi.
tomorrow. Hindi.
Okay then. Okay, after Hindi also you will get time. Sunday is coming. That time you can complete. Okay, children.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now I am ending up today's class. Thank you and have a nice day, children. Okay.